morning, all my beautiful people. Okay, take two. Um, I recorded a video yesterday and uploaded it and everything. Come to find out, there was no sound. So hopefully everything is working well now. If not, I'll be doing a take three. Ooh, goodness. And I don't know. Anyway, I'm thinking I didn't have my microphone plugged in completely. So hopefully that was a culprit and this will go on as usual. So now I have to repeat everything I did yesterday. We're gonna run through this. Okay, most of you know of all the protests going on in China right now, asking for their leader to step down, resign, whatever you want to call it. One in particular situation that I found kind of interesting. It's been ordered that residents of eight districts in Zhangzhou in the central province of Henan, yeah, I butchered that, are not to leave the area for 5 days. This includes about 6 million people, and it is also the largest iPhone plant in the world. It's called Foxconn. Anyway, the government has built barriers around high-risk apartment buildings and setting up checkpoints as far as restricting travel. There have been only a handful of COVID cases in the city, so obviously they're protesting against the zero COVID policy that the government is implementing. There was also a clash between the police and the iPhone factory workers who are furious over their pay. And from what I understand, they left Foxconn plant Thursday, and like thousands of workers showed up Friday to replace them. And what happened is that they were turned away, and now they're quarantined in nearby hotels. Because they were turned away, they were promised 10,000 won compensation. I could be wrong. I want to say that's $1,400 US dollars. I'm not sure. Look it up. You have Google. But although they were promised that, they only received a fraction of that amount. So they're in a situation where they can't work, but they can't leave and go home either. And they haven't been fully paid. On to other news. Australia's catching it, as it seems it's been going on for a while, I guess. The regions of New South Wales, Victoria, and Tasmania have reported their heaviest snowfall since the end of the snow season in October. As you know, their seasons are flipped. So like when we have summer, they're having their winter. Hence in 2019, when it was averaging 110 a day here in Memphis, that's when I decided to go on my trip to Australia, and their fall is not, their winter is not even winter. I went to Melbourne for a week, and like 60-degree temperatures every day. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it, and I dreaded coming back to the 100 and some degree weather. But this snowfall has happened literally days before their summer season begins. In addition to that, the same three regions have been experiencing flooding and extreme winds. So yeah, they're just kind of catching it right now. Let's see. As far as Black Friday, I never do Black Friday. I went out because I was like, okay, usually Black Friday, the chaos is like from, whenever they open the store after Thanksgiving, whether it's midnight or 6 a.m. or whatever, usually by 9 or 10 o'clock it's slowed down. So I went out at 9 a.m. on Friday morning. As far as I'm concerned, it was a bust. As far as the brick and mortar stores, I went to 3 stores. I went to Bed Bath & Beyond because I had a gift card that I've been holding on to for years. And I was like, you know what? They may go out of business any day now. Let me go ahead and use the rest of my gift card. So I used that. I got some sheets and I did some walking around. And in all honesty, I'm sorry, Black Friday prices, by the time they supposedly marked them down, to me it felt no different than just a regular, sale. It wasn't really a Black Friday 50% off or 75% off or nothing like that. It was absolutely nothing like that. And I'm taking it as due to inflation, but yeah, Black Friday wasn't really Black Friday to me. Plus, I'm not into, I guess maybe because I'm not into the high-end technical gadgets kind of stuff. I mean, we have TVs in the house. I have my iPad. We've had the same iPhones we've had for years, so I wasn't shopping for anything high-end or big like that. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I've never done Black Friday, like I said, so you tell me. However, despite the lack of traffic, first of all, was extremely light. There was never more than one person ahead of me in any of the stores I went to. I went to Bed Bath & Beyond, I went to TJ Maxx, and I also went to Tuesday Mornings. And yeah, never more than one person ahead of me. And it never took but a couple minutes to ring up and get out. However, according to news reports, consumers spent a record $9.12 billion online shopping, and that the whole pay now, pay later thing has increased by 78% from last week. So apparently everybody was doing their shopping at home in their pajamas online. So, not that I blame them, but I'm one of those people. I do like ordering online. I do order a lot of stuff online, but sometimes I just want to get out the house, so I will go to the brick and mortar store and actually, pick something up. Treasury Department says it will allow Chevron to resume pumping oil from Venezuela oil fields. This also signals an opening for other oil companies to resume their business in the South American country. Now, from what I understand, the sanctions and restrictions imposed by the United States remain in place, and this allowance, while it's allowed for them to pump there, it is prohibiting PDVSA, which is pretty much Venezuelan National Petroleum Company, whatever it is. It was in Spanish. From receiving profits from Chevron's oil sales in the U.S., and it does not authorize other activity with PDVSA. So in other words, we're taking the oil out of your country, but you're not going to profit from it, and this doesn't mean anything, I guess. But you're pumping oil. Couldn't you do that here in your own country instead of going to a country that's supposed to be our enemy? I'm just saying. In other news, Putin is fearing for his life after the Kherson region retreat. I don't know if you know about Russian history. I've been obsessed with Russian history ever since I learned of Catherine the Great. But czars that lose wars eventually lose their lives, pretty quickly. So a czar losing a war or a battle is not a good thing. So he's supposedly running scared right now. And on the last note, Mississippi-based company United Furniture Industries laid off their entire staff of nearly 3,000 people via text and email. 2 days before Thanksgiving, hit that. There were actually two messages. The first one was informing their workers not to come into work, pretty much indefinitely. And the second one informed them that their health insurance would not be protected by COBRA. Now, as you can imagine, there is, I think, one or two people that are filing lawsuits with them, and it'll probably turn into a class action lawsuit. Because according to Mississippi law, you can't just fire someone like that, especially with a company shutting down or what have you. They either have to give you 60 days notice, or if they're going to shut down immediately, they have to give you 60 days severance pay, which their employees got neither one of those. Good news is that their competitor, Ashley Furniture, is now begun recruiting former United employees. So if you did previously work for United and you got this layoff last week, check into Ashley, because I don't know how many they're trying to hire, but hey, it's worth a shot if you need a job, right? And final note, Kanye West has announced his 2024 presidential bid. Despite netting fewer than 70,000 votes entirely in 2020 when he ran. When I went and voted in 2020, I remember seeing his name on the ballot, and I just kind of, okay. But yeah, he's decided to run for 2024, so yeah, we'll see how all this goes. Anyway, guys, sorry again for yesterday and no sound, and hopefully this one has sound so I don't have to do this again. But until then, take care, God bless, keep prepping, keep praying, and see you next time.